Everyone in the classroom froze when the ink bottle tipped. A dark, glistening stream of navy blue poured over Lily Hart's head, streaking through her long chestnut hair like poison. It slithered down her forehead, her cheeks, soaking the pale yellow fabric of her blouse. The smell of ink filled the air. Gasps, stifled laughs, and camera phones buzzed like flies. But Lily didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't even flinch. Instead, in a move that stunned the entire room, she slowly raised her hand, dipped her fingers into the ink dripping from her hair, smeared it down the sides of her cheeks like war paint, and whispered, "Now watch." Lily had always been the quiet one. The kind of girl you barely noticed in the halls unless you were the kind of person who noticed kindness. She kept to herself, sat in the back of the class, eyes fixed on notebooks filled with strange sketches and calculations. No one really knew her story. But they assumed, because people always do, that she was soft. That she could be walked over. That her silence meant weakness. Every high school has its monsters in makeup. At Westbridge High, it was Madison Kane and her band of designer-clad shadows, Kira, Zoe, and Becca. Popular. Loud. Fearless in the worst way. Madison thrived off control. And in her eyes, Lily's quiet defiance, her refusal to seek approval or react to cruelty, was a threat. And threats had to be destroyed. The bullying started small erasers thrown, snide whispers, a harmless tripping incident in the cafeteria. But Lily never broke. Not even when they vandalized her locker with "Mute Girl Freak" scrawled in permanent marker. Her silence only enraged them more. Until one Tuesday morning, the ink incident happened. Madison had planned it with theatrical flair. During art class, she pretended to trip beside Lily, knocking over a full bottle of dark ink right onto her head. Laughter erupted before the bottle even hit the floor. Teachers were conveniently absent. Cameras were ready. They wanted humiliation. They wanted to break her. But instead of breaking, Lily became something else entirely. That day after school, Lily walked home soaked in ink but smiling. Because something had shifted. Something inside her had snapped, not in despair, but in clarity. She wasn't going to be the quiet girl anymore. Not in the way they thought. Her silence wasn't weakness. It was a cocoon. And now, she was ready to emerge. That evening, Lily dug out a box hidden under her bed. Inside were old sketches, journals, coding notes, and video ideas she'd never dared show anyone. Concepts blending animation, art, tech, and music. She had always been building something quietly, piece by piece, in the shadows. That night, she uploaded her first short film to a new anonymous YouTube channel. It was a hauntingly beautiful animation of a girl in a classroom covered in ink, transforming it into wings of dark paint and flying above the laughter and jeers. No names. No vengeance. Just metaphor. Truth. And raw emotion. It went viral overnight. Millions saw it. Millions related. The quiet ones. The bullied. The misunderstood artists. Comments poured in. This is what power looks like. She turned pain into art. I'm crying. To whoever made this, you saved someone tonight. But Lily wasn't done. Each week, she released a new piece: poetry, animation, digital art. She told stories of silence, survival, and transformation. Her identity remained secret, her face hidden. But her work screamed louder than any voice could. The world listened. And so did Westbridge High. Rumors began. Speculation grew. Madison's smugness faded as teachers played Lily's videos in class, encouraging discussion on bullying and expression. Her followers crossed 10 million in 2 months. News outlets wanted interviews. Students whispered in the halls, "Do you think it's Lily?" But she never said a word. Not until the school's annual assembly. That's where everything changed. Principal Harris stood at the podium. "We have a special guest today. Someone whose voice, though silent, has inspired millions. She's one of our own. gasps erupted as Lily Hart walked onto the stage. She wore a simple black dress, her long hair tied back, the faintest shimmer of blue ink still staining her fingertips intentionally. She looked straight into the audience. Madison's face went pale. The whole auditorium held its breath. Lily stepped up to the mic. And she finally spoke. "I used to think my silence made me invisible," she said, voice calm and steady. "But it made me see more. It made me listen more. And eventually, it made me stronger." Her words pierced the stillness. Pain is a heavy thing. But art lets you lift it. Shape it. Share it. Every time someone tried to silence me, I found a new way to speak. Not to fight hate with hate, but to transform it. She turned slightly, locking eyes with Madison. "To those who laughed, thank you. You made me loud." The crowd erupted in applause. Tears. Standing ovation. Lily went on to become a global symbol of resilience. She started a non-profit called Inkwings, helping students express their trauma through creative media. Her YouTube channel, still anonymous in tone, was now publicly hers, named Be Kind Always. It wasn't about revenge. It was about rising above. Madison transferred schools quietly a month later. Years down the line, even she would admit in an interview, "I didn't know silence could be so loud. I wish I had."